Taurus, Elsie here to do your reading for the month ahead. We're going to look at the overview for the month of February. I think it's important we do that, right? Let's take a look and see what's coming up for you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I am your bully sister. If you are here for the first time, welcome, welcome. And if you are somebody who is always here clicking, thank you so much for watching. If you are someone who clicks and watches but you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. It does make a difference in how this tribe grows. Let's first look at love. Let's take one oracle card for love. It does say romance. There it is. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. So for the month of February, Taurus, there is something coming in love. Let's look at career. Tell me what's coming up in the career sector of Taurus's reading, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Taurus, tell me about career. We do have all is possible. I like it. Choosing your path. So it looks like you're going to have some sort of a choice to make coming in February, sometime in February. It feels like you will be embarking, possibly for some of you, on something brand new, choosing a new path, right? It doesn't say choosing a new path, but it does say choosing your path. It says all is possible. So I feel like for some of you, it looks like you need to release control, surrender the journey to the universe, and follow along. I think go with the flow is what you're supposed to be doing. Let's take a look at the bottom of this deck. We didn't look. It says only time will tell. Understood. All right. And then we have finances. Let's find out what's coming up with finances in February. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus. Happiness. All right. All right. All things are coming up, Taurus. Let's figure it out. Let's look at what we're going to use for tarot. Okay. Here we go. Let's talk about it. Talking about love first, Taurus. Let's see what's coming up for February in romance. It does say Cupid's arrow strikes. So for some of you, not all of you, because it's a general reading, but for some of you, it looks like there is something romantic that is on the horizon. Tell me about Taurus, please. Taurus, if you're interested in a private read, if that's what you'd like to do, please look below this video. You will see a link that says more. If you click there, there is a link to Wizio. My readings over at Wizio begin at $40. Let's take a look here. Taurus, tell me about romance for Taurus in the month of February 2024. We have the Four of Wands in the reverse. So for some of you, possibly you have ended something, or you did have something going on last year, possibly that ended sometime in January. The Four of Wands is here in the reverse. Now, for others of you, it could mean, look, Elsie, I'm just not interested in getting into anything serious at this point. It could be that as well. Because the Four of Wands in the upright is pretty serious. Maybe for some of you, you're only looking for a soulmate. And the Four of Wands in the reverse is like, I don't know if I believe in soulmates. Are soulmates really out there? I think they are. We've got the Sun. I feel like there's going to be something that creeps up on you that you're not expecting. It feels like something new, Taurus, that there is some sort of a breakthrough that's coming. It could be somebody who has a couple of children, or maybe you do. Take it as it resonates. It could be someone who is a Leo. It doesn't have to be. We do have the Four of Cups. It's going to pull you out of boredom. Some sort of new romantic spark. It's going to pull you out of this redundant energy here. It feels like there is a breakthrough. And I want to say for those of you, I'm getting a feeling like for those of you who ended something last year or in the month of January, that this even might be a little bit too soon. But I feel like you still realize, you have a realization or a breakthrough as it pertains to the Four of Wands, maybe sort of revisiting it again, not necessarily, deciding to jump into something, but kind of thinking about it. With the Sun next to the Four of Wands in the reverse, maybe there's sort of a breakthrough that maybe it didn't work with that person because they weren't your person, but maybe you should explore it again. I feel like you're feeling a little bit restless as it pertains to your emotional energy. Yeah, not really making any specific connections, but I think one is going to surprise you, Taurus. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse. It's going to be your choice. So I feel like somebody is going to ask you out here. You will be getting some sort of a social invitation, whether it's an invitation with a bunch of people or if it's an invitation with just one person. But there is an invite here. The Three of Cups is celebration, happiness. We're going to get together. We're going to share our heart spaces, right? We're going to have some fun. And with the Two of Swords in the reverse, it tells me that your decision is to go. We have the Eight of Wands, so it feels like an incoming message for you. It also feels like you decide that you're going to throw a little bit of caution to the wind with the Two of Swords in the reverse and the Eight of Wands right next door. It feels like you're moving away from that Eight of Wands energy, that you were stuck in your mind. I feel like you were stuck up in your head here. And I feel like February is when you finally get some movement here in the romance department. We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Six of Swords. Very interesting. So I think what's going to pull you out of this energy of the Four of Cups, Taurus, is that I feel like you are going to get some sort of an invitation from a group of people or from a person. Take it as it resonates. I mean, it could be a group of people. We have Three Cups, right? I want to say that this is something that has kind of been on your mind. And I feel like with the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Swords holding the Ace of Swords, that it's kind of like in the last relationship, you were betrayed or hurt really badly, or it ended up being like a ghosting sort of blocking kind of situation. And it was really painful and you've moved on from there. So I think that the reason that the Four of Wands has come up in the reverse is because you've already just been through something, whether that was yesterday or before that. It's in the past somewhere, and it feels like you learned your lesson. The Six of Swords for me as a reader only shows up when you finally learn the lesson. So whatever that lesson was, I feel like you realized that you couldn't hang around any longer there, and you moved forward. It feels like you were the one that broke it off, I want to say. The Knight of Swords is the one who is just going to give it to you like it is, right? That one is impatient. I just want to be brave. I'm just going to tell you what I have to say. I'm just going to say it. And I feel like you were the one that just said it. I can't do this with you anymore. I feel like it's time for us both to move on. So I feel like that there is some sort of an invitation that's coming to you, Taurus, in the month of February. And I think it comes at a time when you really need it, because I feel like you're starting to open yourself up just a little bit more. With the Two of Swords in the reverse, it tells me you're no longer blocked, and that maybe you're a little bit more open than you were at the beginning of the month. So it feels like this invitation comes around the middle of the month. Take it as it resonates. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, you've pulled away emotionally from someone. And I think you surprised yourself, to be honest. But I think that you really know, you understand your worth now, right? I think that you surprised yourself that you pulled away, because I think you thought that was a Nine of Cups situation. Clearly it was not. But you've pulled away. You've pulled out of that vibration. And I think you surprised yourself. But I think this is, a point where you finally just really looked in the mirror and said, I am the Empress. I offer a lot. And if someone can't bring me what I offer, then I'm just really not interested. I'm not interested in being on this, vibration as I'm the Empress and somebody who's bringing me page energy. I'm just not going to do that. So that's on the bottom of the deck. All right. Let's go with a different deck. Let's talk about career. Tell me about career for Taurus, please, in February 2024. It says all is possible and you're choosing a new path. So for some of you, you could be job searching right now. Maybe you're hoping something will come up in the month of February. New year, new you, who dis, right? You're like, I'm done with this old place. I think it's time for me to move forward here. Tell me about the possibilities in the career sector for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We do have balance. I like it. You're going to get some justice. So if you've applied for a job, if you're thinking about applying for a job, even if it's a job that's kind of outside of your wheelhouse, I feel like all is possible. I want to say that if you put your one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, little by little. Oh, I got the song earlier today. Yeah, it's coming up again. It's Huey Lewis and the News. It's called Jacob's Ladder, and it's like step by step, one by one, higher and higher. That's what I'm hearing. So you are going to make small but significant moves towards justice here. Something that is going to come into balance. You are going to see a truth of a situation. For some of you, you're going to realize that there is all kinds of possibilities out there and that you just need to choose a path if you're unhappy where you are. We've got the Seven of Swords. Why is that? And we've got the King of Wands. So it feels like here that there is somebody who's possibly on their on the throne. I want to say the boss or the person who is your supervisor or whoever this King of Wands is here, Taurus. It does feel like this person is lying to you, or it feels like they're not being honest with you, or they're concealing something from you, and you just need to have justice. I feel like you feel that that you're being passed over, possibly because the Seven of Swords is telling me there's a little bit of deceit. Maybe there's nepotism in your place of work. Maybe somebody has family there and they keep giving the promotions to family or friends or people who will, I was working in a corporation like this where the big boss was only hiring people who would listen to them and do what they said and would carry their own agenda forward, which is pretty perverse. It was a perverse agenda, but they were only hiring people who, would basically shut up and listen. It feels like the King of Wands here is somebody who feels, it's like this person, the face they give to the world is the one of inspiration. I'm an inspiring leader. That's the one that they give here. But really underneath, I think underneath all of it is the Seven of Swords. This person is not being totally honest with you. And when you say like, hey, how come you passed me up? It feels like it's, this person lies to you or there's deceit involved. So I feel like for some of you, you've decided that you need to have some justice in all of these lies, and it's time for you to be inspired to move forward here. Yep, there it is. It's the realization, and it is an upheaval and a change. I feel like for some of you in the month of February that you'll be leaving a job for another job. We have the Five of Swords in the reverse. It feels like you're like, I don't want to fight about this anymore. This person's lying to me. I don't want to fight about it anymore. And the realization with the Tower, it is an upheaval, and it's like maybe you just walk out. Maybe it's not a blaze of glory, but maybe you just throw down your swords and you're like, you know what, I don't want to even fight with you about this anymore because I know I'm the person for the job, but you keep giving it to someone else. So I feel like for some of you, it is a change of job here. We've got the Two of Swords. And so it's going to take you some time to make that decision. I feel the Two of Swords is a bit of a block. It's like, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm not really sure what I should do at this point. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to go from the frying pan to the fire, right? I don't want to end up in a job that I really hate. Got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy here. We've got Libra, got Scorpio that showed up here. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, it's going to work out, my friend. It is going to work out. It feels like you leave this job maybe not in a blaze of glory. And what I mean by that is maybe you don't scream and yell at people and walk out in a big huff, but I feel like you have a realization while you're on the job that this person is a shyster. This person's not being honest with you. This person is like, they're all-knowing, all-seeing, sitting on their throne. They're it feels like they feel like they have a superiority complex. And I feel like you've decided that you just don't want to fight anymore, and your realization is that you're going. We have the Six of Cups, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Ace of Wands. Look, it doesn't look like anything is bad here. I want to say that for some of you, there is a realization that you have some sort of a skill, I want to say, that you really love, that you learned way back there, something that you haven't used. Let's say maybe you had your education in the arts, and maybe you are working in a science-based business and it's time for you to get back into the arts. The Six of Cups tells me that there is nostalgia. You have memories of a place and a time when you were doing really well, being very creative, and it was an exciting place to work, a place that you really loved, or a situation like it feels like there's something that you already know how to do. I want to say you already know how to do it because of the card of the nostalgia. And it is something that you really love that comes from the heart. So for some of you, maybe you're not going off to another job. Maybe you're going on this path, embarking on this path of business. It could be that as well. Tell me why the Tower's here. Tell me why the Tower's here, please. Yeah, it's a lesson learned, my friend, that you'd been holding back for a really long time. You've been holding back, even though, and this is the beautiful thing about you, Taurus, is that even though you knew that you had the ability to wield the sword, you did not. You held it back. And what that tells me is that you were educated enough to do your boss's job, and you held back. Like you didn't take their job from them. You didn't try to take their job from them. But I feel like almost like you were playing it small, Taurus. So I think the Tower comes to give you a realization of who you are. You are the Hierophant. You are the teacher. You are the one that people respect for the path that you're on and the traditions you keep and the morality that you spread. And it feels like this is a lesson also. When the Hierophant shows up, it's a lesson learned. And I think the lesson learned for you is the Strength card, is to wield the sword when you need to, but don't always hold back from the opportunity. Because I feel like maybe you passed up on some opportunities last year, like maybe November, December, January, you passed up on some sort of opportunity to go into business for yourself or begin something new here. And I think that's it's really important that you revisit that. So even if you don't do it right now, maybe you're not going to do it right now, but I do feel that this is something that's attached to your heart space. It's also attached to your creativity. It makes you excited. It burns a fire within you. And I think you need to make a decision. The king is holding one wand and there's another wand here. You're at the crossroads of your career here, of whatever it is that you want to do. And look, people change careers 5 times, 6 times in a lifetime. They go from being bakers to being pianists to being violinists to being an artist. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different things that you can do. I think you're a person of many talents. And so I think that you have your pick of the litter. But I think your lesson is learned here. You cannot hold back production here, which is the Page of Pentacles. You cannot hold back things that are already being born in the 3D. And I think this was being born for a while now. It is going to be emotionally overwhelming for you, absolutely, going on this new path. And I think for some of you, the Page of Wands is telling me that you go on this path without being prepared to do it. Like, it feels like somebody here is just throwing down the swords and like, screw you, I'm out. I'm out. You can't treat me like this anymore. I told you a million times, and I'm being honest with you right now, you cannot treat me like that anymore. All right, let's find out with the finances. What's happening with the finances? Looks like it's pretty happy, whatever it is. Tell me about Taurus, please, and the finances. We've got happiness here. Now, for some of you, the happiness in the finances could come from having some sort of a partner in crime. We have dolphins, right? There's 2 of them. The sun is in the sky. We've got blue, speaking from the throat chakra. We've got pink and purple. Third eye is open, getting downloads. Like, it's all kinds of goodness here. It feels like you have released yourself from sort of an imprisonment that you were in the career. And I think that whatever comes up that you decide to do, whatever this thing is down here that feels really beautiful, it feels like it really does give an influx of finances for you. Tell me about happiness in the finances for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. There it is. You're going at it. You're getting in the vehicle and you're going. There it is. And it's headed straight for the King of Pentacles. Look, whatever it is that you decide to do, you are going to be successful because of your transformation, because you took hold of this situation. You learned this lesson. The Death card is here. You learn the lesson. You transform. And in doing that, Taurus, you transform your finances. You become financially aware. You become financially stable. And we've got the Chariot here, which tells me it happens pretty quick. So you may jump into another job or you may jump into a business, but whatever it is, it's going to make you happy. We've got the 7 of Cups. And what I did say when we were looking at this is it's going to be a little bit emotionally overwhelming. And I think it's going to be overwhelming because you're still not sure. You're still getting your footing, right, in whatever the new job is. And we've got the Ace of Wands here. Whatever it is, though, has your heart on fire. It feels like it's excitement, it's fun, it's creativity. It's a new path of something that you have been hoping for, but not taking action on for a long while. I think this person here in your life was taking action and sort of calling the shots. You were the puppet. Now I think you're the one that is in action. I feel like down here you get into action, and here you are definitely in the midst of all of it in action. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to take crazy risks, right? You're not going to take crazy risks with your money. You're not going to pull out your 401k and throw it into a business. You're not going to take crazy risks. You're going to take educated risks, because the Knight of Pentacles is that. I won't move quickly. I will move slowly. I'll go over the details. I'll get a business plan. I'll do a 5-year plan. Where do I want to be in 5 years? Because really, that's the difference between a business in success and failure is 5 years. And so even if the first and second and third year, you're kind of, you'll need to wait for the next 2 years to see if this thing is going to float itself. I feel like you're going to be very careful looking over all the details. You'll be very careful with your finances. Your finances are about to grow, though, really quickly, I feel, because of the transformation that you have decided on. I feel like your finances are going to be great going into February here because you're going to be making really specific decisions about what you're going to do. And whether you go to work for another corporation or whether you start your own business, I really feel that you are going to have success. And it's because you have decided to transform your finances by leaving this thing here that was never really something that not really a place you should have been for life. Some people think that they're supposed to be at their careers for life, and it's not true. It's not true at all. We have the Four of Wands. It does make your home life prosper. So it is very specific and detailed information. It does make the home life happy. We do have the Ace of Swords. And the Empress. Look, I really feel like for those of you who haven't hit the Empress level yet, because the Empress level is all about wisdom. It might be because of your age. And for some of you, you have... you are an old soul and you've learned a lot of lessons early in your life, but that's not true for everybody. In fact, it's not true for most people. When the Empress is in the room, it's because of wisdom. You've learned all the lessons of all the queens. And so look at this. It feels like you've made a contract with yourself. I am going to be the Empress. It feels like things go really well in the home as it pertains to finances. And I feel like what you've done here is you've had an aha moment. I am the Empress. I am the one who is abundant. I'm checking in with myself. I'm checking in with the universe. Everything around me grows and is creative and is abundant. And when you make that decision, when you have this aha moment that you know that you are the Empress, Taurus, I feel like everything works out really beautifully for you in the month of February. So for some of you, you're going to be leveling up to be the Empress in February, and it's going to show in your finances because part of being the Empress is being the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is the one who's beautifying the home, but the King of Pentacles is the one who doesn't even have to go out and find the opportunity finds them. So for those of you who are planning to start a business or have just started a business, I want to say be patient, go slow, be creative, make sure you're on the cutting edge of whatever, and make sure that that you don't have the rosy colored glasses on, that you have a solid plan in place, because that's what the Knight of Pentacles would do, would write out the business plan, would write out the 5-year plan, make sure that you have a plan in place, and there's no losing it for you. Nope. It is yours to win or to lose. And it looks like you're winning here in love, in career, and in finances. Look, it's going to get better in February, right? It is going to get better in February. I want you to tell yourself that every day, Taurus. I'm going to go for now. I'll be back, and I'll be back next week for your readings for the week ahead. Take care, sweetheart. And I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, of course, tomorrow, because I'm always back. Love you guys. Bye-bye.